What's going on, everybody? This is John Jake Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Bluffton Tech Dynasty here on EA College Football 25. We find ourselves in the middle of year number 2, and while we've shown signs of improvement, we're still sitting at 2-5 as our overall record. And this time we find ourselves here at home taking on another 2-5 team in the Kent State Golden Flashes. And these are two teams right here that are trying to vie for bowl eligibility. And both of us, we need to go on a strong run to finish the year. And for us, it's got to start right now. It's do or die. This game is definitely a winnable game for us as we check out the overalls for us. Bluffton Tech, we come in as a 76 overall with a 77 overall defense, while Kent State is coming in as a 74 with a 75 offense and a 74 defense to go with it as well. And we do have one of the better players on the field to go with it in Xavier Wilson, who's one of the better corners in the MAC. So hopefully that and much more can take us over the top. Let's see if our home field advantage can take care of us here today as we seek our third win here in year number 2, as it should be a good one here tonight. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Bluffton Tech Team Builder Dynasty, and if you do, make sure to go ahead and do a couple of things for me. Hit that like button, and then also hit that subscribe button as well if you do have to be brand new to the channel. And with that being said, let's go ahead and take ourselves onto the field for our matchup against the Golden Flashes. Alright boys, so we'll go ahead and get things officially underway here in the Tech Center, as Kent State does end up getting the ball first. We did end up winning that coin toss, and we did end up deferring to the second half. But we're going to need all the help that we can get, because Kent State looks like it's going to be one of those offenses that is very tempo-based, that is one of the faster offenses that we've came across in the country. And you can see right away, we are struggling with this tempo that Kent State is working with right now. We're trying to get one of our guys just past the line of scrimmage so that he's not going to be called offsides. And what makes it very difficult for us is that we don't really have a lot of options at our disposal, in particular when it comes to like making defensive audibles, like changing the plays, that kind of stuff. So that being said, could be an interesting matchup from the defensive side of things, but we do get the Golden Flashes to a 3rd and 4. So while they've been driving on the field, maybe we can get them off the field once and for all, but we're going to be just short of that task. So we are going to give up the first down, and now we got ourselves a goal line situation with Kent State right on the doorsteps. Got plenty of time for their quarterback, but he has to throw it away. Nowhere to go with the football. And while we definitely gave up our fair share of bigger plays, we are at least going to force Kent State to settle for a field goal. Should be makeable. It's going to be about 25 yards out. And look at this. They missed the field goal. Oh my goodness. Their kicker is garbage. Their kicker might actually be garbage. So we'll be able to take over at about the 20-yard line. And now we have a chance to come out here and play our brand of football as well. And maybe what I want to do, maybe use that tempo against them. You know, maybe it's one of those things where, you know, we'll still work that tempo in, but maybe it's also one of those things where, you know, we just go ahead and, you know, maybe use that tempo against them. You know, dominate time of possession, really wear out that defense, and maybe keep that offense on their side of the field as well. But if we want to actually come out and accomplish that, we actually got to go ahead and pick up this 3rd and 9, as we'll go ahead and try to send it deep here. But that was well covered deep, actually. So we are going to have to go ahead and punt this ball away. So while we did some good things there in our first offensive drive, the game not nearly as successful as what Kent State was able to do. And that being said, that does mean that the Golden Flashes have the ball once again. First play in the next drive, they're able to pick up a few yards there on the ground, and they're able to pick up a gain of 5 as they're going to be able to run it right down our throats there, as that is going to be a first down for the Golden Flashes. as they'll get to, looks like about the 40-yard line. I make a late adjustment that honestly works to our decrement, to be honest with you. I was concerned about how one of our men went really deeply out of position for the man coverage, so that's why I switched to a cover 2 zone. Apparently that was not the right move though, because they took advantage of that cover 2 zone. But we do get Kent State to a 4th down at the very least. It's just a matter of what can we do on this 4th and inches. They're on our side of the field, so I'm not surprised at all, but they're going to go for it here. And they decide to pass for it on the 4th and inches, and hanging on to it as well. Malik Moon and company could not bring him down. And so the Golden Flashes once again are going to find themselves here in the red zone. Now our defense did stiffen up in the red zone, even forcing a missed kick. So just because they get into the red zone doesn't mean that they're going to find points here, at least not as easily. We just got to make sure our defense locks in here on these next few plays for sure, as Golden Flashes have a 2nd and short, and they're going to run it up the gut with their tailback. While he doesn't pick up too many yards there, Douglas does more than enough to move the sticks, as that's going to be a 1st and goal now for the Golden Flashes. So now 1st and goal from about the 5-yard line as they hand it back off to Douglas. Douglas looking for some space, and he's going to get it. Touchdown, Golden Flashes. And Kent State is going to find itself on the board first. They will take a 7-0 lead here late in the 1st quarter. And all of our home fans in the stands, they're certainly disappointed by that prospect. So with that being said, we got our offense back out onto the field as we'll try to respond to this Golden Flashes team. We'll drop back right away with Armstrong as we'll throw to the right-hand side. Gonna get it out to the tight end, Naz Lilia. That is a true freshman, our backup tight end on this team, as well as Naz Lilia is able to go ahead and move the sticks for a huge 1st down there. Gets us to about the 42-yard line. And so with that being said, we got 1st and 10 coming up. Again, Armstrong looking over the right-hand side, has an open crossing route, and Scott McQualler, while it wasn't a great throw, was able to complete that pass anyways. We'll see if he can complete yet another pass for the 1st down, as we'll go to CJ Peaks down the sideline, and CJ Peaks is going to pick up the 1st down. That'll actually be the last notable play that we have in the 1st quarter. While we are going to be down 7-0 early, your Fighting Muskrats are putting together a drive of their own. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get things rolling here as we got 3rd and 5 coming up. Armstrong's going to look over the middle, is going to find the tight end nearly for a touchdown. They mark, look how short they have him. They have him on the 1-inch line, which is wild to me. And so we're just going to go ahead and see if we can punch it in with our tailback. And sure enough, we will with our running back into the end zone. That's a touchdown for the Fighting Muskrats, as that is Will Peoples, the sophomore tailback and younger brother of Darnell Peoples, able to find the end zone as well. We got ourselves a tie ball game. So all knotted up here at 7 apiece here after the touchdown, as our defense tries to find answers to this running attack. And you can see this running attack has been giving us some problems all afternoon so far. We'll see if we can make some adjustments. I try to go ahead and call maybe a cover 1, maybe go into like more of a cover 3. I had a linebacker right there, and Xavier Wilson was in a better spot in the gap. But with that being said, we do force eventually a 3rd and long after a couple of shorter plays. So it is possible. We just got to set our mind to it. As 3rd and 8, they're going to go with the halfback draw and just runs through our defense like a knife through hot butter. I mean, what else could you do about it, right? Like, you know, we just got to be better, plain and simple. As the cover 1, even in a cover 1, it hasn't been truly effective, right? As now we'll go with a 1st and 10 coming up. Don't love the alignments, but that's what we're working with. Is this play action? Looking over to the left-hand side, and it's going to be caught for a huge play. Porter Lindstrom able to track him down from behind, at least able to save the touchdown. But oh man, did our DB on the outside get embarrassed there. And that's going to eventually lead to a Golden Flashes touchdown. Kent State is going to be able to score, and they are going to retake the lead against your Bluffton Tech Fighting Muskrats on that particular, particular instance there. You hate to see it. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get things rolling with our offense here. Seems like our offense is going to have plenty of work to do, as could be one of those games where we could be ending up in a shootout. That could certainly be going in our direction. But 3rd and short coming up here. I'm going to try to call this read option, and it looks like it's ran to perfection. DJ Armstrong can move it to the outside. We're just going to go ahead and run out of bounds. Make sure that he doesn't get hurt. That wear and tear could still be egregious for us here. The penalties are massive. As now 1st and 10. We got it from the 46-yard line. Could be a little bit of an RPO action, and it is. We're going to get Ross John into the open field. He makes a nice spin move and gets across the 35-yard line. Big first down for the Fighting Muskrats, as Bluffton Tech is getting them Texas Roadhouse biscuits out because they are on a roll. We're going to go with an RPO again, and it runs pretty well. Scott McQuarrie is going to nearly pick up the first down. However, our freshman tight end is going to be caught napping, though, as Naz Lilia is going to be called for the holding penalty, as I probably should have went halfback there on that particular play, but we got a little bit greedy and kind of locked in on that receiver there. That's on me. So now 3rd and 17 coming up. Armstrong's going to drop back, looks over the middle. He had a crosser, but just couldn't pull the trigger fast enough, as the Golden Flashes were sending the blitz, and the blitz was effective. So the Golden Flashes will take over, but a great punt by our punter, who's not accustomed, does down it inside the 10-yard line. So if we can force a 3 and out here, that would be phenomenal. However, it looks like the halfback drive continues to hurt us. We had somebody there, but Nash Berthe could not make the play. Running back was able to bounce it outside, and that's why Kent State is still holding on to the football right now. Is this Kent State offense? Oh my goodness. They are so freaking explosive, dude. Or our defense is just that terrible. I mean, either way, I'm shocked that they're 2-5 with just the number of problems they've been giving us offensively, that they haven't been able to, luck into like a couple more wins. Yeah, we are just simply down horrendous right about now, as the Golden Flashes have yet another touchdown opportunity, a chance to take a 2-score lead. They're going to hit it to the outside, but we are there to knock it down, as we were able to bring them behind. That's Stephen Brantz that's going to be credited with the tackle. That's our freshman safety that backs up Porter Lindstrom, and that's a big play for him. As now we're going to go ahead and force Kent State to take another field goal, but it's no good. And so Bluffton Tech will take over. So less than 2 minutes left to play here in the first half, so we have a chance to tie. We'll start this last first half drive potentially off by throwing it out to Chris Gentry, who's been quiet today, but he gets his first catch for 8 yards there. As Armstrong will again throw it to the right-hand side. He'll find Ross John for the first down. Yet another freshman making a good play for us there. As Armstrong is going to line up in the pistol formation, a 2 tight end set. As Armstrong wants to go to the right-hand side, he's got the freshman tight end, and he's going to bring it in for the first down. But I'm not convinced that that's actually a first down play, right? So we're going to get to the line quickly. I'm not going to make any adjustments, as we'll go ahead, throw it over the middle, trying for Scott McQuarrie, who almost made the catch there. And now it can't be reviewed at the very least. That was definitely a close call. So with that being said, 2nd and 10 coming up, as I could have a matchup here with Javion Foreman. Let's see if Foreman can be able to go deep here for us. They send the blitz, and oh my goodness, if we had a little bit more time, Javion Foreman was going to be in for the touchdown. Probably should have kept the running back in the block in retrospect, but going to be 3rd and 10 here regardless, as we're going to line up here in a 5-wide set. We'll see if Kent State sends the blitz again. They don't. We throw it to Scooter Page, who had the ball right in his hands, dude. He had it in his hands, but couldn't bring it in. It was just straight up dropped. So with that being said, we are going to try and see if we can go ahead and put some points on the board before the end of the first half. And that is certainly going to help. Javion Foreman able to connect deep downfield, as that is going to make it at least a chance for us to score here late in the first half. Let's see if we can tie this thing up as we throw to CJ Peaks, who's going to be able to get out of bounds there. But CJ Peaks does pick up 8 yards, as we probably have 2 to 3 plays in the end zone, depending on how we play these next couple of plays. So we just got to be mindful of that as Armstrong drops back yet again. It's going to get out to CJ Peaks, and we tried to go ahead and get the no huddle going after that, but couldn't get set soon enough. I did want to risk it. Want to at least take the points when they're available to us, as Tommy White is going to be able to get that field goal to go through. So halftime does come around here at the Tech Center, and we're hanging around with the Golden Flashes. We're only down 14-10. Just got to find a way to stop this Curtis Douglas, who's been really hurting us throughout the first half. So welcome back to the Tech Center, as we'll go ahead and get things rolling here yet again, as we will actually get the ball to start this second half. Remember, we did defer to the second half, so maybe a chance for us to double dip potentially. And I'm not huge on the look I was given originally, so we go ahead and switch to a passing play. Get out to Ross John, who was originally the primary person to get the ball before we change the play. And we pick up a gain of 6 yards, which we're definitely okay with. Seems like the box was a little preoccupied. However, we could have something on this next play in particular right here, as Will Peoples gets out into the motion, and did not see Will Peoples get open there. Might have been better to roll with that completion, thrown it to the outside, but we still pick up the first down. We're okay with that, and now we're going to try to move the sticks again. 1st and 10, and this time we just try to run that motion to throw Kent State off, and now it's going to be a gain of 6 on the play. Is now 3rd and short coming up. Armstrong going to drop back, looking around, looking for someone to get open, and he will end up finding the tight end out in the flats, able to move the sticks for the Fighting Muskrats, and now lead us right into our no huddle. 1st and 10, and we try to go play action here. One to attack down the center of the field, and it's intercepted. Wanted Scott McClellar there, but can't bring him down. Naswolia does come in from behind to make the tackle, and this was just not bad. This is not good placement at all for a junior quarterback. DJ Armstrong, I think if he would have led him to the right-hand side and a little bit of a lesser throw would have been completed. It could have been for big yards, but because he led him right to the safety, that was going to be trouble, and unfortunately our tight end could not make the play. So now we have a chance for Kent State to really create some distance between us and the Golden Flashes. So this could be one of the bigger defensive drives that we see in this ball game, trying not to go down by multiple possessions, as Kent State's going to run it up the gut with Curtis Douglas. And Douglas, we slowed down Douglas tremendously there, but Douglas is still able to pick up the first down anyways. So now 1st and 10 coming up, as we'll go ahead and run it with Curtis Douglas, who's going to run it to the middle of the field. And Douglas is going to pick up yet another first down, as this running back now has over 100 yards on the day. As now 3rd and 4, Douglas this time getting hurt. Let's go, baby. Able to stop Curtis Douglas on the ground. And now Kent State, their kicker has not been doing great today, so they're going to go for it here on 4th down. I expect them to run for it, and they are. Curtis Douglas going to get to the inside, and our guys just could not win on the blocks. So instead, we are going to be staring down a 3rd and goal opportunity. Is now 3rd and goal coming up, looking over to the left-hand side, and it's going to be caught for a touchdown. the Golden Flashes are going to be able to take advantage of the score. And because they're able to take advantage of the score, that does end up meaning we're going to be down 21-10 here, as it looks like Kent State is pressing. So we're going to try to attack them down the field. We got an open man. It is Chris Gentry, who's been quiet for most of the first half and into the third quarter. His name and his presence is going to be felt now. Touchdown, Bluffton Tech, and the Fighting Muskrats get right back into the game. That's how you respond after you throw an interception. But DJ Armstrong now going to be responsible to try and come out here, and let's see if we can get a 2-point conversion as well. Originally, we were going to go with the quarterback dive, but unfortunately, that wasn't there. We tried to throw it out on the pivot route, but that wasn't there as well. And Kent State is actually going to bring this back for a 2-point conversion the other way. So instead of potentially being down by 3, the worst case scenario unfolds, and Kent State is now going to be down by up by 7. So a big swing there on the 2-point conversion. Touchdown is great. I absolutely love that we were able to get a touchdown on that play, but not so great that we gave up the 2-point conversion when we were on offense, which is wild to me. So we're down by 7. And so let's see if our defense can come out here, get a stop, as we're going to go play action. But we were not fooled by the play action at all, as Tajay Coles, the senior linebacker, is going to be able to get home there, man. Let's go, baby. As Tajay Coles is going to make this a very challenging 3rd and 20. Just need to get a little bit of pressure on this quarterback, but he's wide open down the sideline, and we on a 3rd and 20, bro. On a 3rd and 20, bro. Like, what are we doing, defense? Oh, my goodness. I can't believe that happens to us right before our eyes, dude. That's crazy to me. And so we give up another touchdown just like that. J.J. Esteridge makes it a 2-score game again. And so it looks like our offense is going to have to go crazy here in this last quarter plus in order for us to come out and actually win the thing. As now we're going to go ahead and drop back. Armstrong faces some pressure, does get it out, and it does actually end up being caught by CJ Peaks, as that's going to get us to about midfield already. A strong start to the drive for this offense. Armstrong is going to put a man in motion. He's going to run it with Ross John, and Ross John is someone that continues to impress me. While he doesn't get the lion's share of the carries, as Will Peoples is definitely our lead back for a reason, Ross John has definitely balled out for us. He's been a good utility player. So 2nd and short, we'll set it up for Ross John yet again, and he does, make the presence felt. Able to get out of bounds inside 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter, and so the offense is running smoothly so far. We'll go ahead and try and see if we can get our other running back involved on the right-hand side, as we'll try to set up the screen for Will Peoples, but the timing was thrown off a little bit with Will Peoples getting stuck. So instead, it's going to be 3rd and 8, as we'll throw over to the left-hand side. It's going to be caught for a 1st down, as the Golden Flashes are now struggling to deal with our offense after giving up a huge touchdown the last drive. Is now our offense now starting to find that consistent rhythm as well. We just need some help from our defense if we score here, because our defense at some point's gotta have to do something. It absolutely has to happen. As now we'll go ahead and try to run it here on 3rd and short with Ross John, but John cannot get the ball past the marker, as that's going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter, down by a couple of scores, and a big decision that we have to face in that 4th quarter. So you know what? 4th and inches. We're going to go for it here. I just need 1 inch. Can my offensive line win the rep? And no, it cannot. Will Peoples has to bounce it outside, and that is going to mean that we have to turn the ball over. Had to get points on the drive, and we just could not do it. And so with that being said, our defense has to get a stop. We cannot allow Kent State to put points up on the board yet again. Let's see if they can get it done. 3rd and 5 coming up, looking over to the middle of the field, and of course, we give them another first down. Just our defense, we do not have it today. I don't know what to say other than we just struggled tremendously all day today. The tempo has been an issue, and so we are actually almost going to give up a big play downfield, but at least that one does end up being broken up. Plus, there is a holding penalty as well, which is going to force the Golden Flashes to back it up another 10 yards. So they're back inside the 20 here on a 1st and 20. They're going to try to send this one downfield, and that one also ends up being broken up as well. That's our star corner, the senior and Xavier Wilson, able to make a stop. So now it's 2nd and 20 coming up as they're just going to decide to run it up the middle. And while they'll pick up a few yards there, which we're okay with, it's still going to make it 3rd and 15. So that doesn't mean that we're actually going to be able to get stops here because we've given up a 3rd and 20 earlier in the game. But on a 3rd and 15, though, this time around, we're going to force this quarterback to run. And while he's going to slide down and pick up plenty of yards, we'll get what we were looking for, which was actually getting a stop. So with that being said, here we go. A chance for our offense to come out and trying to get right back into the game as Armstrong looks over to the right-hand side. He's got an open receiver, and that is Chris Gentry again. He burnt the defense once today. He's going to burn it once again. Touchdown, Fighting Muskrats. And that is going to pull us to within a touchdown. And that was a play that we desperately needed. The sophomore balling out here in the second half. And how about these apples as well? We actually forced Kent State to go 3 and out. Imagine that. We can actually play defense, chat. It's incredible. But now we got to take advantage. We have a chance to tie this game. We got to do it. 1st and 10 in our enemy's side of the field as DJ Armstrong is going to get a big run, even do a nice little spin move inside. But the play is not going to count, unfortunately, as that is going to be brought back by Andrew Spanway, one of our offensive linemen, one of the younger offensive linemen who are good enough to start, but just have not, just hasn't got fully acclimated to college football yet. It's a young team, so I'm not surprised that, we don't always have our, most disciplined moments ourselves, as we do pitch it out to Wilson, makes a guy miss and nearly picks up the first down, but it's another penalty on the field, and given by who they showed. It's going to be on our offensive lineman. This time it's Aiden Kramer, the junior, that gets called for the holding penalty. So at least we have one run that doesn't get called back for a penalty. But I mean, 3rd and 14, dude, this is not where we want to be at all. This is tough. So 3rd and 14 coming up here as we try to get ourselves this first down. We'll see if we can do it here as we drop back the pass. Looks over the middle, and hanging on to it is Scott McQuarrie. So we are actually successful on the 3rd and 14, but that needed to be a dot, and thankfully it was, though. So now 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. Armstrong is going to drop back, looking for someone to get open, trying to throw it to the right-hand side, and it's going to be deflected away at the last moment. So now 3rd and 9 coming up. Desperately need points. Let's see if it comes here on this 3rd and 9 as we try to make adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Send a man out into motion, looking over to the left-hand side, and it's going to be intercepted. It will be picked off as Fontanez Lilia was originally going to be covered, so that's why I tried to layer it back. But Dotson just had some excellent reaction times there. Realized what was up, played the sticks, and DJ Armstrong genuinely got fooled. So that was a big chance for us to tie this game up, and unfortunately, it's not going to happen on this particular drive. So now we have to see if we can get anything from our defense, and it looks like it's not looking up for us at all. As now it's going to be 2nd and 6 coming up here as they're going to go deep downfield. They got a guy open, but it ends up being dropped though. 3rd and 6 coming up. Less than 4 minutes left to play. And we're going to roll with some cover 1 and hope our corners can hold up on an island. 4th down coming up if they can't complete the pass, but Malik Moon gets beat deep. And while Nash Birthday does a great job hustling, it's going to be for nothing as Kent State's going to score yet again. Another touchdown for the Golden Flashes. And Kent State is going to be up by 2 possessions again. So 3:27 left to play here in the ball game, and it's not looking good for Bluffton Tech, chat. So we'll see what we can do here as we're going to go with a nice little slot fade to Scott McClower on the linebacker. He actually is not going to score. I thought we were going to get it in there, but Scott McClower gets it inside the 5-yard line. We have 3 plays to get 1 yard. Surely we can pick up all those yards just in the red zone, right? But apparently we're having a tough time even doing that, and a little bit of word farting on my end as we got 4th and goal from the 2-yard line. Desperately needing the points. We'll see what they come up with here as we're going to go ahead and pass for it. See what we can have shake here as Nazluya, a 90 speed tight end, could have something shake here. Don't like the look, so we're going to run for the end zone, and DJ Armstrong is going to be able to punch it in. Touchdown, Bluffton Tech, as the Fighting Muskrats do at least get back on the board. But with a 2-minute warning already taken care of, it's going to be imperative for our defense come out on this next drive and get some stops. But first, we got a 2-minute conversion that we got to do. As I actually like this look this time around. It's a much more empty box, and it's going to work well enough as DJ Armstrong is going to find the end zone there. 2-point conversion is good. So we're down by 6. So we'll go for the onside kick here. I don't trust my defense to get a stop, to be honest with you. But unfortunately, it does end up being recovered. So the Golden Flashes will have a chance to put this game on ice. And it starts with this 1st and 10. I'm expecting them to run the ball because they've been doing that well all day today. And Curtis Douglas is going to break a tackle and is going to be in open space. That's a 1st down for the Golden Flashes, as now we'll have to go ahead and, we're going to save that timeout. We're going to save that timeout because I do want the ability to be able to stop the clock. We're going to be in tough space regardless, though, as they'll run it with Curtis Douglas, but he has nowhere to go. We actually forced a big loss. So with that being said, 3rd and 12 coming up. We'll see what the Golden Flashes end up deciding to do, but they're not going to risk it for the biscuit. They're going to end up, running the ball yet again. And while it's a minimal game, they don't end up getting much of anything with it. So 4th down coming up. Golden Flashes are going to settle for a field goal, and this time the kicker actually slices it through. The kick is good, and with that, it's going to be 40-31. We're down by 9, and so we can't even tie it on this drive. We're going to need a little bit. We need to score quickly. So let's see if we can do exactly that, as that pass is going to be broken up. Wanted to go to Chris Gentry net again, but Jalen Dotson, who already has an interception today, is able to bat that pass away. And now it's going to be 2nd and 10 coming up as Armstrong dropping back the pass. Looks over to the right-hand side, and that's going to be caught by CJ Peaks, who's going to be able to immediately get ourselves out of bounds. We don't have any timeouts to work with either. So now 2nd and 8 coming up here as Armstrong ready to go to work. Armstrong dropping back, but it's going to be sacked right away. And because we end up being sacked right away, we got a 3rd and 15 here. And that clock is still running. Clock not on our side, but wait a minute now. We might have an open man down the right-hand side. It's Chris Gentry. But there's a holding penalty, so that's why I just ran myself out of bounds. Because I assumed it was going to be a hold, and I was right. I was so right, dude, because Chris Gentry would have had a touchdown if it wasn't for that penalty. Instead, it's going to be 3rd and 25. Armstrong is looking for somebody to get open, and sure enough, he got him in. Scooter Page is going to scoot his way into the end zone there. Touchdown for Bluffton Tech. So at least we get another score on the board. The offenses look great today. The offenses actually look phenomenal. I cannot be mad about how well this offense has looked today. But with that being said, if we don't get this onside kick, as the kids would say, we're absolutely cooked here. So the onside kick does end up being recovered by the Golden Flashes. And that's going to do it here, guys. A painful loss for us, as we are going to end up dropping another game in MACtion, losing 40-38. And that means we are just going to be one game away from failing to be bowl eligible yet again. So this game was certainly nothing short of 2 units, as our offense played amazing today. Almost 700 yards of total offense. We put up 38 points too, but then we also give up 40. So it's like, you know, it's another wasted effort by our offense. And while I'm happy that we figured things out offensively, our defense just has to simply play at a much higher level. We simply didn't have it today. And one thing that DJ Armstrong did an amazing job of was slinging that thing all over the place. He had a 71% completion percentage. He was 32 for 45, almost 600 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Did throw a couple of interceptions today, but this is a John Jay Gaming special. You should expect that at this point. You know, we did get a ton of yards though. Will Peoples was somewhat effective on the ground though. He had 14 carries for 49 yards, while DJ Armstrong was also able to find his way into the end zone. So Armstrong did have 4 total touchdowns in this particular game. Receivers did have 2 receivers have over 100 yards. Chris Gentry actually led the team with 5 catches, 167 yards, and a couple of touchdowns as well. Scott McQuarrie also had more than 100 yards. CJ Peaks was very close to 100 yards too, but Scooter Page, with his only catch of the day, he was able to take it to the crib for a 64-yard touchdown to try to get us within a couple of points with, you know, a few seconds to go. Now, defensively, listen, the defense has to play better. It has to play a lot better than this, because this was rough. We do have a couple of bright spots though. Nash Birthday did lead the team in tackles with 14, and then Xavier Wilson did have 11 total tackles behind him. We did also do a decent job of getting to the quarterback. We had 3 sacks in the game. Tajay Coles had a couple, and then Cade Bloom had 1. We didn't get any turnovers though, and that's one of the differences in the game. Like, if you want to talk about padlock stats, we didn't force any turnovers, and Kent State was able to force a couple, and us losing by a couple of points. Oh, and we also had the 2-point return, which is on our offense. Those few things right there, those little things, made a game that we probably should have won. Like, taking a look at how things were on paper, and instead we're holding our 6th loss of the season. Now, it seems like we didn't have anybody commit on the dotted line, but what I did see is that we did have somebody win Defensive Player of the Week. So Tajay Coles had 5 tackles and 2 sacks were enough to get him Defensive Player of the Week. So, you know, again, Tajay Coles was another person that, you know, really shined. And we had National Defensive Player of the Week. So we had the National Defensive Player of the Week playing for us in that Kent State game, and we still managed to give up 38 as a defense, which is absolutely wild to me. And now we got to win out. We got to win out in this in these next 4 games. Otherwise, it's going to be 2 years in a row where we are not going into a bowl game. We've gotten to a point where many of our games are now close and less away from, okay, we're getting blown out all the time, like that was the case in year number 1. So we're on step 2 of program building, where we've moved away from getting blown out consistently, and now we're losing close consistently. So let's see if we can win one of these close ones in the next episode, as we will try to go on a 4-game winning streak. And it starts with going on the road, taking on the Red Hawks of Miami. And we're looking forward to this battle with the Miami Red Hawks in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed this shootout though, because oh baby, were the bullets flying in today's episode. With that being said, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you go ahead, smack that like button so that this video can get out to more college football fans like yourself. And then in addition to that, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you love the content that you see on this channel, so you can join our community and it's easier for you to get my videos if you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. But with that, this is John Jay Gaming on the mic signing off, but hope you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.